Hello everyone and welcome to the Coon Rapids Ice Center for CTN mobile coverage of girls high school hockey. Tonight they 2-0 in their second game, 2-0 in their second game against Rosemont. And then their captain took over. Lauren O'Hara scored 4 straight goals in the second period, a natural hat trick plus 1. And that sparked this offense. They have scored 3 straight victories, racking up 14 goals over that 3-game stretch.
Yeah, and O'Hara has 6 of those 14 goals, Joe. She is awfully good, and I know when I talked to Coach Scott, he said, yeah, we have to stop her. That's her number 1 priority. We have to make sure we limit what she does.
Here she is in the slot, goes to her backhand, in close off the crossbar and into the corner.
Yeah, he said she's the best player they've seen all year so far.
O'Hara, little sauce on the backhand, who got over the stick of Thompson into the corner, tied up there. Coming away with it is Del Castillo for the Bluebirds. Bowden moves it ahead. It's knocked off the stick of Bernovic at center. Lager pushes it back deep into her own end. Chased down there by Jarpie. Jarpie with a lot of pressure. 3 deep for the Bluebirds, bringing a lot of forechecking on this early possession. Out to O'Hara now with numbers across the blue line. O'Hara dishes on the backhand. The shot by O'Hearn turned away. Held on the far side of the blue line by Ellie Newpower. And then she gets some support from Kuhlenkamp. Puck comes free for Kedling. Gets it out to center, but the Cougars able to turn it right back into the Chample Park Coon Rapids end. Pass out front, bounced away from Wolter. Recovered by Kylie Scott. Takes it behind her own net, high off the glass, kicked in. And now here comes Scott off the carom, 1-on-1 to the other end. Snapshot, blocker save up high, bouncing in the slot. Recovered there by Noel Hemmer. Hemmer in a foot race with Scott down the left wing boards, cuts back across. Top of the circle shot, misses wide into the near corner. Dug free from the pile by Emma Olsen. She skates to center, checked off her stick by Hemmer. Bucciaconi gets it ahead for Hemmer. Hemmer ridden into the corner. She'll play it back off the boards for O'Hearn. Now back in deep. Played off the near board for Emma Olsen. Olsen will skate to center. And will dump it in around Ball. Stopped up behind the net by Gross. Ball recovers, then leaves it. A little miscommunication and a little battle for possession in the corner. Lily McKenzie digging there for the Bluebirds. Kept in at the line by Julian. Another reverse attempt. And again, McKenzie this time comes away with the steal. The pass looking for Brooklyn Johnson on the back door, but it was off the skate of Cody. Puck into the far corner. And out to center where Cody will carry into the Bluebirds' end. Backhand pass out front, knocked away by Del Castillo. McKenzie tried to avoid the official, tied up along the near boards by Cody. Kicks it free, back to the corner, trying to poke it along. Will send it back up the near side. Jari jams in. Comes free to Lager, top of the circle. Rolled off her stick. Recovered by Brooklyn Johnson. Played out to center, but eludes Lily McKenzie. Still no icing as we continue the action end to end. Just under 13 minutes left in the first period. A good pace early. Anna Thompson trying to step up. O'Hara was caught in offsides. Hung up with a Bluebird player. And the first whistle in what seems like a while.
It has been. And, you know, when I talked to Coach Gutterman, obviously know where number 23 is, but really D-zone presence for them, how they play in their defensive end is going to be really important. And to really capitalize on opportunities. When they get opportunities, they need to put the puck in the back of the net.
O'Hara able to play it back. Hard pass across by Thompson, didn't click. Bluebirds play it off the boards all the way down. O'Hearn or Thompson rather, tracks it down, tries to leave it behind her own net, recovered there by Jarpie. Jarpie pressured, she goes down, puck back behind the net. Thompson gets it ahead. The pass from Lager too far in front of J.C. Chatleen. And that'll be icing. Chatleen, another one you want to watch. Just an 8th grader. She, as a 7th grader, had the game-winning overtime goal in the first meeting between these two teams. Had a goal and an assist in the 8-2 Centennial Spring Lake Park.
Yeah, she distributes the puck well. I mean, she has 2 goals and 5 assists in the 4 games they've played so far this year.
And really in the last 3 games, because again, they were shut out by Maple Grove. Icing was going to be waved off, and Wostrom just tried to play it to safety. Comes in on her pretty lazily and easily covers up, but now a deep zone face-off for the Bluebirds.
And talking to Coach Moline, he said, really, we know we're playing a good team tonight. We just have to play our game, and we have to be loose, and we just have to be the aggressor.
Top of the circle, wrist shot by Newpower is turned away. Bluebirds able to kick it out to center, quickly turned around by Larson, poked off her stick. She recovers, plays it back across for Newpower, back behind her own net, chased by Bowden, tied up there, gets it past Emma Olsen, and it slips beyond Del Castillo, back out to center. Semling tried to turn it around, instead turns it over. Kuhlenkamp into the corner, poked away by Del Castillo, and it's back out to center. Circling, Buccicconi gathering speed. Right past the benches, they change. A quick snapper into the glove of Maddie Wastrel, and another face-off, 11:04 to play, period 1.
You talked about only a couple of stops here so far in this first period, which forces teams to get changes quickly because there's not a lot of stoppage in time. So that'll be interesting to see how that unfolds as well.
Clear attempt is foiled by Ball. Her shot sticked away by Wastrel. Kicked free from the pile by Scott. She plays it behind for Julian. Julian back around to the near side for Cam Singh. She gives it to Lily McKenzie. Her pass was a little high and a little behind Brooke Johnson, and that'll be icing, and it'll face off back in the Champo Park Coon Rapids end.
So far early on here, the Bluebirds being outshot 5-1 by the Cougars.
Well, and talking to Coach Gutterman before the game, this is a team that's 2-2, both losses in overtime, and one of their wins in overtime. He said, we just need to be able to finish. Really could be 4-0. Pretty moves from Brooklyn Johnson. Wish I had the replay. Unfortunately, play continues. McKenzie dancing through traffic. Kicked away by Gross. Scott puts it back into the mess. It deflects into the far corner. Good stick check there by McKenzie. This one fired out, and it hit someone on the Centennial bench. So we will have a face-off back in the Centennial Spring Lake Park end.
Well, that's what the Bluebirds want. They want a flurry. They want a flurry in front of the Cougar net. They want to be able to get on the board, I think, here first and put a little pressure on the Cougars. But as you talked about their schedule, especially the North Ray County coach, Gutty said that was a tough loss for them. They thought they had that game.
Well, and we obviously did this season opener against Blaine. I thought they outplayed the Bengals for the majority of the contest. Pass to Chatleen, able to get out to center, poked off her stick. Spinning around at center ice is Bowden. Carrying in is Del Castillo, gets around the corner, tried to center just out of the reach of Sydney Bernovic in the high slot. It was a beautiful setup, just didn't quite click. Absolutely the right play for Briley Del Castillo. Chatleen into the zone, saucer pass across, eludes the stick of Lager. They recover out of the corner. O'Hara at the top of the circle, up for Jaffrey at the point. Back down low, back to O'Hara, one-timer. And a stick save by Wastrel. O'Hara recovers out of the corner, backdoor a shot and a save, and cover for Madeline Wastrel.
Roscoe's right now doing a nice job of just making sure she knows where that puck is. She made a big save on a slap shot and then able to cover it up on that particular opportunity for the Cougars. 9:09 remaining in this first period, no score.
Another Centennial Spring Lake Park win on the draw. Good stick by Semling. Deflects the puck into the corner. Recovered there by Scott. Trying to get away from a couple of forecheckers. Pass across for Emma Olsen into the zone. Trying to get around Larson into the corner. There to support for Centennial as Kuhlenkamp comes free to the line. Held there by Milton. Scott steps around another stick check on her backhand, puts it on. Gross turns it away. Clear around the far board. Stopped up there by Semling. Down low with it. Emma Olsen back out front, a rebound, and just went through the crease between Gross and the post. Centennial feeling a little flustered. They ice the puck, and definitely the best scoring chance at either end to this point created right there. Starts with Emma Olsen playing it out from behind the net. Shot in the slot by Semling, and then the rebound, wide open cage, and it went all the way across the blue paint.
Yeah,
McKenzie behind the net tried to backhand out front. That stopped up by Callie Cody. Kept in by Singh. Good pressure from the home team. Singh comes across and stops up the rush just outside the blue line. Quick turnaround. McKenzie couldn't cleanly handle the pass. Plays it back across off the far boards. Johnson forces the turnover. Singh in the corner for McKenzie. Off the boards, out to Del Castillo. Down low again. Now out to the point for Julian walking in. Her shot blocked away by Cody. Off the boards, McKenzie behind for Johnson. Short angle and a big save by Gross. This one played off the boards and out. Del Castillo turns and plays it back out of her own end.
Yeah, a couple opportunities for the Bluebirds, just couldn't cash in.
And that's what Gutterman was talking about before the game. You need to be able to finish. Chatleen back in. O'Hara. Oh, shot right into the chest of Wastrel. That pass taken away. Chatleen trying to get back to O'Hara. Couldn't get to her forehand. She's swept off the puck by Tessa Bowden. Can't get it out. Past Lager. In close. O'Hara stopped by Wastrel. Play continues behind the net. Flopping puck jumps over the stick of Anna Jarpy out to center. Bluebirds can regroup momentarily, but right back on the attack comes Centennial. Forced to regroup again. Thompson will carry in. Down the right side, swept off her stick by Del Castillo. Pass to the point, broken up by Bowden. She ties up along the near boards with Jarpy. Puck comes free to the line. Chatleen walking in. That was deflected up and over. Good stick there by Sydney Bernovic. Left for Thompson at the point. She spins away from the pressure. Got an extra stick in the process. This shot through traffic off the side of the cage. Del Castillo squeezes Kuhlenkamp off the puck, but Centennial Spring Lake Park maintains control. Trying to get a line change in the offensive end. Fresh on is Larson. And she'll send it back in deep. Hemmer tried to go back to the short side with the pass. Kuhlenkamp recovers. Kuhlenkamp spins. That shot didn't make it through. Bounced away from Wolter. Into the corner, back out to the point. Newpower walks to the middle. Leads for Larson. Larson from the right point. That shot blocked by Bowden. Gets it back. That one kicked by Del Castillo. Bounces into the slot. And it's finally sent the length of the ice by Evelyn Semling. And that is icing as we have just under 5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Still no score, but Centennial Spring Lake Park, pretty impressive.
They needed to clear that pressure, and by doing so, ice the puck. But being outshot 10-3 at this point, a lot of good opportunities for Centennial Spring Lake Park, and the Bluebirds just need to clear that pressure and kind of regroup for a second.
Face-off win. Scott behind her own net. Chased, more pressure coming. Backhand pass all the way across the zone out to neutral. Recovered by Lily McKenzie. Her shot is blocked and turned around by New Power, and behind the play, Cam Singh slid into the net and took it all the way into the back end boards. She's up and seems to be okay.
Yeah, she seems to be fine. And
let's look at the, oh, never mind.
Oh, no, I'm drawing it out for you, so.
Go back to the days of the Etch-a-Sketch.
Well, I got a whole bunch of pages, like when you flip pages and it looks like it's a little movie. That's what I'm trying to draw here. So I can only do one play at a time, but.
Good pressure from McKenzie, trying to force a turnover, recovered by O'Hearn out front of goal! Cam Singh! It all starts with the pressure. Both McKenzie and Johnson were down, creating pressure behind the net. They got the puck to kick free, and it went right to Cam Singh. She fires 5-hole, and CPCR has the first period lead.
Yeah, and that's exactly how the Bluebirds wanted here. They wanted to jump on top early. They wanted to put some pressure on Centennial Spring Lake Park, and Cam Singh cashes in on that goal, her second of the season. And that's a big goal for the Bluebirds as they take that lead here with about 4.5 minutes remaining in period number 1.
And watch for Centennial Spring Lake Park to try and return the fire. Instead, Kylie Scott racing end-to-end for the Bluebirds. Lost the handle along the boards. That pass into the feet of Lager. Couldn't be poked away by Julian. McKenzie trying to turn it back up ice. Tried to jump around Katie Ball. And it's recovered there by Busiciconi. The shot by O'Hara went off the helmet, I think, of Wastrel. That one held by Bucciconi on the far side. Tie up along the end boards, comes free. O'Hara banging away, and she evens the score.
Well, you called it, Joe. Look at it to get the equalizer, and they did here so quickly. You know, O'Hara is such a good hockey player, and she stayed with it. She didn't get the first opportunity, but she stayed with that second opportunity. Got the rebound, able to put it in the back of the net. Her 7th goal of the season ties this one up at 1.
Well, and again, they found themselves down 2-0 in the second period against Rosemont.
Yep.
And then Lauren O'Hara scored 4 straight goals. An impressive player, yes, to be sure. She had 5 points in the second game against the Bluebirds last year. Bowden trying to race to the other end, attack the triangle well, just couldn't complete the move.
Well, the Bluebirds didn't get a chance to hold the lead very long.
Less than a minute in the far corner. Lager plays it back out to the point, skipped away from Thompson. Jarpy will dump it in. Centennial Spring Lake Park getting most of a line change. Kuhlenkamp bringing the pressure, played up the far boards, held at the line, shot off the pad of Wastrel. Oswego gets it out to center, just forces it out. Bowden trying to catch up to it. They regroup and hammer back the other way. Got it to Walter. This one off of Centennial Spring Lake Park body, so no icing. Jarpy pressured, plays it back up the near boards for Kuhlenkamp. She turns, that pass too far for Thompson. Far side pressure coming from Evelyn Semling. A scrum along the boards. Emma Olsen trying to dig it free. Instead, it ends up underneath her skates with others poking away. Finally comes free momentarily, at least for Walter. And she played it back into the group. Here's Olsen coming away to her backhand out front and missed that one wide as it slipped off the toe of her stick. Deep pinch for Scott. Trying to play it around Coolenkamp back to herself. That one fired off the boards all the way down. That will be icing. And we will have a face-off in the Centennial Spring Lake Park end with just 1:45 to go in period number 1.
As you mentioned, good opportunity for Emma Olson there. She was able to bring the puck in front of the net, but just couldn't get the shot she wanted.
But just a little more patience. She had Gross beat.
She did.
One more stride, and she could have laid it into a wide open net, and instead it rolls off the tip of her stick. Oh, that one was beautifully set up, just off the toe for Cam Singh, nearly in position to get a second. Cody in. 2-on-1, the shot, save with the blocker. Puck still loose, bodies getting pushed around. Lily McKenzie making her presence known. Comes free underneath the bodies, and a save in tight for Wastrel, and then she's able to cover up because Sophie Shimabukuro had an opportunity coming from behind the net.
Well, yeah, and again, you're looking at the dominance and shots on goal for Spring Lake Park and Centennial, 16-5 in their favor.
Julian swings it around. Singh ahead for McKenzie. McKenzie lost the handle. Larson tries to get it deeper. It's held up along the boards by Del Castillo. Kicks free. Julian recovers. Pressured by Chatleen behind the net. Reverses for Del Castillo. Now for Singh. Cross ice pass deflected. Johnson chips it off the boards. McKenzie behind the defense. Good recovery as numbers come back in black jerseys. O'Hara pokes it free, gets it back, tried to get it to Chatleen. Held at the line nicely by Aswegan. Again held against O'Hara. Singh trying to get it through traffic. It's off of McKenzie. She plays it back to the point. Scott gets around Chatleen, trying to step back around O'Hara, instead knocked free, and Chatleen going back the other way. Aswegan takes care of her with a stick, recovers, scaries behind her own net. 10 seconds left in the period. Aswegan through center with speed. To the line, to her backhand. Not a lot on that, and a pretty easy cover for Gross.
Yeah, so unless something happens in this last 2.7 seconds, we'll go to the break, knotted up at 1.
Kylie Aswegan taking a page out of Kylie Scott's book with the end-to-end rush. Just not a lot on the shot. Tie up off the face-off. It goes into the corner, and the buzzer sounds, and we will go to the locker room with a 1-1 tie. Chample Park, Coon Rapids started the scoring. Cam Singh at 12:29, but O'Hara just 45 seconds later evens it up. And we go to the intermission, all knotted at 1. More after this. You're watching CTN Mobile's coverage of girls high school hockey. back at the Crick and ready to drop the puck on period number 2. Good pace in period number 1. Champlain Park Coon Rapids started the scoring. And Centennial Spring Lake Park quickly answered. Chatleen in on a breakaway, a shot off the post.
They couldn't have asked for a better start for Centennial Spring Lake Park. Unfortunately, the only better one, it would have been the back of the net.
Thompson trying to get it to Chatleen at the bottom of the circle, but she was tied up well. It comes in harmlessly on the goaltender, Maddie Wastrel. She covers up, takes the face-off. CPCR getting a line change. Centennial Spring Lake Park stays with this line. A win, but it got away from Chatleen. Shelby Julian, backhand pass to center for Bowden, ahead, and then gets it right back from Ketting into the zone, pushes it in on goal, and not really a lot of pressure there, but still holding for the faceoff is Caitlin Gross.
And again, the Bluebirds want to push something at the net, and they're looking for a rebound if possible.
Well, and even the 2 early draws, I don't know that we had many periods of that in that first period that we had 2 faceoffs that close together. This one played off the board and down. Coolenkamp gets there, or Hemmer rather, gets there before it can be icing. Poked away from her by Del Castillo. Hemmer bumped to the ice. No whistle. We did not see any penalties in the first period. 16-6 shot advantage for Centennial Spring Lake Park. But the stat that matters most on the scoreboard is 1-1. This one hit traffic, didn't get through the shot and a goal on the rebound for Hemmer. She was lurking at the top of the circle near side. The original shot hit traffic out front. It came right to her, and she buried it, bar down.
Yeah, a great opportunity there, and that rebound came right, as you mentioned, right back to her, came out long, and she's able to put it in the back of the net, and all of a sudden it's a 2-1 lead now for Centennial Spring Lake Park. And I think that, Joe, they'll try and continue to put pressure on and try and build this lead if at all possible. Bluebirds need to like to answer. They need to answer.
Larson gets the assist. Centennial Spring Lake Park has its first lead of the contest. That one out toward the middle of the ice. Jarpie will skate it in. Trying to attack, swept off her stick by Scott, played behind, stopped up there by Coolenkamp. Able to pry it away from her was Zahalka, and the Bluebirds trying to get it at least out to center, and they do. Scott plays it hard off the far boards and down, and that will be icing. CPCR will get a line change.
An opportunity to get the puck back down in the Bluebird end here for Centennial Spring Lake Park. After scoring that goal to take the lead here early in period number 2.
O'Hearn and McKenzie on the draw, comes free to Singh. Singh out to center, but held there by Katie Ball. Back into the zone, Shimaborakuru. Or something of that nature. Quick shot on the redirection for Shimabukuro. It's a lot of names to say fast.
That is a lot of name. That's a mouthful for sure.
She's getting a lot of action on this shift. Nearly had the knockdown on that pass. Thompson gets to the red line, dumps it back into the zone.
They had a really good opportunity, just that there was an open net for them. They just didn't get the player in front of the net in order to put it home. But you see continued pressure here by Centennial Spring Lake Park.
Del Castillo trying to force it in, can't. O'Hearn into the zone, has numbers with her. Pass was behind Chatleen, but the shot by Katie Ball deflected up and over. Good back check and stick by Brooklyn Johnson. They had a 3-on-1. Johnson came back and able to get the stick on puck. Trying to pass to the floater. It was deflected, but gets through to Lager. Lager out front on the backhanded goal for O'Hara, her second of the game.
Yeah, again, great position. They attacked the net very well, and you saw it there. O'Hara able to capitalize goal number 2. That's 8 now on the season for her. All of a sudden, Centennial Spring Lake Park now up by 2 at 3-1, out shooting the Bluebirds 20-6.
Well, this one went end to end. They started at their own end.
Yep.
Long pass, trying to stretch it out for Lager. It was deflected, but got through to her. She carries into the blue line, draws all the attention, and then slid it out front. And the one player you don't want more than anyone all alone in the slot is Lauren O'Hara, and that's exactly who it was.
Well, that's what Coach Gutty said. We cannot let her get in front of the net by herself because she is deadly. Like I mentioned earlier in this game, maybe the best player they faced all year so far.
Well, and 2 goals in the first 3:30 of this second period. Played ahead. O'Hara couldn't handle it cleanly, but it got back to Lager across into the zone. Long shot in by Larson, turned away with the stick. O'Hara turns off the boards, puts some sauce on it. It's fanned on by Annabelle Buccicconi. O'Hara digs it free again behind the net, looking out front. That pass didn't click, but Buccicconi has it at the blue line. That one didn't make it through. Japri steps up. Her shot deflected up and over off the glass. Bowden can't get anything on the clear attempt. Buccicconi can't get it past Bowden on the boards, though. Dug free and sent at least to center by Bernovic. And now Julia trying to skate up the near boards. Squeezed off by a couple of black jerseys. Japri tried to defer to Wolter. Instead, Bowden gets it in deep. So the Bluebirds can complete their line change. Off the boards, too far for Wolter, but this one's not going to have enough for icing. Del Castillo scoops it up, turns it around, skips away from Olsen all the way down. That one will have enough for icing, and we'll have a face-off in the Bluebirds' end. 11:43 to go, period number 2.
Yeah, with the Bluebirds trailing by 2, they want to try and make something happen, but Centennial Spring Lake Park controlling the action down in their end, the Bluebirds' end, makes it difficult for Temple Park Coon Rapids to put the puck in the back of the net.
Tie up off the face-off, and O'Hearn was left with a present, able to walk in, but then lost the handle last second. Played behind, swept around by Oswego. Bluebirds can't get it out, now they do. McKenzie recovers, has some speed down the left side. Leaves it back. Sing the shot to save, and the hold for Gross.
Yeah, they just have to be able to test Gross here and putting shots on net. She makes sure she covered that one up, forcing that face-off to her right. But if the Bluebirds want to get back into this one, those are the kind of things they have to do. And then hope for those rebounds. This is the first shot on net here in period number 2 for
O'Hearn
the Bluebirds.
To center, across for Lager, down the left wing, poked away by Scott. Scott stood up there with O'Hara, played back behind. Milton gets it ahead. Singh trying to get it out to center. O'Hara knocked it down, turns it around. That pass through some traffic. One-touch pass, McKenzie with speed. Top of the circle's a wrist shot, misses high and wide. Singh in to recover behind the net, battling a couple, plays it to the slot. Johnson a chance. Puck was loose in the blue paint, and it was swept out of danger by Larson. Back the other way come the Centennial Spring Lake Park Cougars. Singh into the zone, backhands it too far in front of McKenzie. Recovers out of the corner. Her pass attempt knocked down by Newpower. Ahead for Lager at center. Chatleen had it knocked away. Gets it right back at the blue line. Chatleen trying to feed it back for O'Hara. Instead into the far corner. Both get a change. Champlain Park's Coon Rapids plays it in deep. Tessa Bowden gives chase. Picks it up herself. Bowden will leave it back into the corner. Ketting rather is there to recover. Trying to send it to the slot. but it's covered by Gross. A little less than 10 minutes left in the second period.
Yeah, Bluebirds just trying to push something in front of the net, see if they can get a stick on a puck. Gross able to make sure she covered up, not letting that happen, forcing the face-off.
Off the face-off, it comes free for Hemmer, and Noelle Hemmer to the other end, and a goal!
Oh, she found that far corner. A pretty goal by Hemmer. She's able to beat Restrol and make it 4-1. But yeah, just a nice rush, and again that nice shot to that far corner finds the back of the net for that goal.
Well, and it was weird off the face-off. A couple of players tied up, and it kind of bounced free, and Hemmer had it, head of steam going the other way. She has her second of the period.
Yeah, and her first 2 goals of the season.
She had help with her. I believe it was Madeline Wolter down the left side. But she takes it herself, a good quick little wrister just inside the far post. And just like that, it's 4-1 Centennial. Coolenkamp keeps it in. Wolter in the corner, plays it behind. Singh there, she's pressured and turns it over to Coolenkamp. Shot in, poked away by Wastrel. Cam Singh going back the other way. Ball bumps it off her stick. Singh runs her over and then gets tripped up for her troubles. Centering attempt taken away by Coolenkamp. Coolenkamp ahead for Hemmer. Hemmer from just inside the blue line, blocked by Scott into the corner. Oswego sweeps it along. Johnson's pass didn't get out of the zone. Shimabukuro is giving pressure to Oswego. Comes free though on the far side for Euland. Scott trying to find some room to operate. New Power stops it up at the blue line. Johnson pokes it past her, but O'Hearn is there to support. Recovered by Scott. She was hung up by Euland, but got it to center. Played off the glass in front of the penalty box and eventually into the Centennial end, but a lot of effort just to get it across the blue line. O'Hearn pitchforks it in, trying to get past Scott. Those two are tied up and go down in a heap. Play continues as Emma Olsen backhands it out to center, and Larson sends it right back in for Centennial Spring Lake Park. Kylie Scott tied up along the end boards by O'Hearn. And here we're going to see our first penalty of the game. It's going to go against Taylor Zahalka. Came in a little bit aggressive and clearing J.C. Chatleen from the pile there.
Well, the last thing you want to do is put a good scoring team on the power play down 4-1, but that's exactly what the Bluebirds will do with that penalty. So now an opportunity. First penalty of the contest so far. An opportunity to see what the Cougars can do on the power play.
Chatleen sets up in the corner to the far circle. A shot knocked down out front. Dumped to the corner, stopped up by Bowden. She can't get it past Coolenkamp. Coolenkamp will send it down low. Good stick there by Nola Milton to lift up and allow Bowden to get away with the puck. Unfortunately, can't clear. Larson walking the line, backhands it near side for O'Hara. Look into the back door, and Coolenkamp tipped it just wide. Centering pass broken up and now cleared the length of the ice by Sydney Bernovic. Larson long pass, bounces over Coolenkamp all the way down out of the reach of Del Castillo. And we have icing on the power play by Centennial. But one good shot very early on in this power play. They'll bring out the second unit.
Yeah, the penalty kill unit for the Bluebirds obviously needs to play tough here on this opportunity for the Cougars.
Face-off win back to Kylie Scott. She sends it through the slot, wide of the net. Brooklyn Johnson sends it back in deep. Thompson recovers out of the corner for Centennial Spring Lake Park. Bumped by Brooklyn Johnson. Puck played in deep to the Champlain Park Coon Rapids end. Stopping up with it is Scott. Scott trying to get away from the pressure of Cody. It hit someone in the bench.
Yep.
At first I thought it hit the linesman. And that's unfortunate. It means a defensive zone face-off, 38 seconds remaining on the power play for Centennial.
Yeah, the Bluebirds trying to get something going on that run shorthanded, but just 38 seconds remaining on the power play for the Cougars.
O'Hara comes out of the scrum with it, leads it for Kulikamp on the boards. Pressured out to the point, fanning on it was Larson, but right to O'Hara. O'Hara pressured by Shelby Julian near the boards. Now we'll send it to Chatleen in the corner. Back to O'Hara. Walks in, a shot, I think that went off of Lager out front. It comes off the boards and back out where Wastrel can cover it.
Yeah, and she had to
I don't
cover
know
it.
that one made it through, but they gave her a shot on net.
They did.
I'm all for it. Maddie Wastrel, despite giving up 4 goals, playing pretty well tonight.
Yeah, she's been barraged by this squad.
Chatleen out to O'Hara and now Larson rather. O'Hara's pass knocked down by Julian. She gets it right back. Penalty is over. Short angle shot stopped up by Wastrel. O'Hara back on the boards. Kulikamp waiting for that pass that didn't get there. Bernovic out of the box and looking to make an impact. Good chance in close for Bernovic. It was Zahalka rather that had the penalty, but Bernovic intercepts, got it to Zahalka. Bowden will flip it out all the way down. Icing waved off. Bucciaconi will carry behind her own net. Long pass. Oswegan turns it around at the Bluebirds' blue line. Into the zone. Bowden providing the pressure there on New Power. Comes free. Oswegan's shot is blocked. Gets it right back. Now we'll dump it in and around. Johnson trying to center. Came right back to her. Centers and just all kinds of black jerseys in the slot and through the top of the crease. New Power pressured by McKenzie comes away with the steal. Behind for Johnson. Out front. That one again too tight for anyone to get to. This one off the side of the net and ends up going all the way back to Maddie Wastrel. Pressure coming. O'Hearn, the second wave, able to stop the clearing attempt. She'll chase it down in the corner. Comes free, played to a vacated post. Bucciaconi can't get it around Brooklyn Johnson. Johnson to her backhand, a shot, the save, and Gross didn't know where it was. Centered, and McKenzie deflected it just over the top. Backdoor shot, a split save for Gross. Oswegan at the blue line, across, and now down low, back up. Oswegan had to try and reach back for it on her backhand. Not able to stop it up. Here comes pressure. Breakout pass is taken away, and that's going to be another penalty as Hemmer cut across, and the stick from Del Castillo got caught between her legs. A little can opener action. Well, and Champlain Park Coon Rapids did a pretty nice job. Just 2 shots allowed on that last power play, and now they're going to send their penalty kill right back out there.
Yeah, that penalty may have prevented a really good look for the Cougars as she was taken down, as Hemmer was taken down in front of the net. But you're right, so let's see what their penalty kill unit can do here with 3:30 remaining in the period number 2, down 4-1.
Backdoor pass, tipped away, good stick from Kylie Scott. Larson recovers at center. Centennial back into their own zone to regroup. Lager hands it to O'Hara, looking for an opening into the zone. Down the right side, stick check there. And now we'll play it around. Chatleen will come off the boards. Out front, a pass back and a goal, and Hemmer's got the hat trick. Yeah, O'Hara's got the hat trick.
What a beautiful setup for O'Hara, too. That pass just came right to her.
That was a beautifully set up, clearly set play.
Yep.
One touch passing back of the net.
So 3 more goals for Lauren O'Hara, who gives her 9 on the season. And a 5-1 Centennial Spring Lake Park lead with about 3 minutes remaining here in period number 2.
And the pressure continues. O'Hearn right back on the attack out front. Wastrel covering it up.
Well, they don't let up. They don't let up with the pressure. They continue to swarm that Bluebird net.
Power play goal makes it 5-1, 2:50 to go in the second period. It has been all Centennial Spring Lake Park in this middle frame. Julian plays it up the boards. Thompson struggling to keep it in, able to do so. Walks in, snapshot right into the midsection of Wastrel, and we'll have another face-off to her right.
Yeah, Wastrel having to make sure she covered up for that face-off.
Champlain Park, Coon Rapids with just 4 shots on goal in this second period, 10 in the game.
13 for Centennial Spring Lake Park.
Thompson had it tipped off her stick. O'Hearn holds. McKenzie tips it away from her, trying to beat her in the race. Good angle from O'Hearn, helps her win the puck. And tripped up behind the net, but no call. This one sent all the way back down, no icing. Wastrel sweeps it to the corner. Shimabuku row. I think I've got the pronunciation right. It's the timing.
It's the timing. It's the pattern.
Shimabukuro.
Ushikuru.
Singh is going the other way for Champlain Park. Coon Rapids cuts to the slot, tied up and couldn't get off his shot. Thompson swings it behind the net. Far side, Katie Ball plays it ahead, tipped by Walter, so no icing. Oswego up the boards. Emma Olson turns into the zone, pressured and passes out front just across the top of the crease and just out of the reach of Zahalka. Tie up in the near corner, 6 bodies in there digging for it. Eventually it will come free. Olson trying to come back short side and jam it on the backhand, but Gross had the pad down. Kept in by Oswego. And Semling sends it back in behind as we're under a minute to go in the second period. Glove down by New Power ahead. Glove down by Hemmer, tied up by Scott. She had her pocket picked by her own player as Zahalka took it away. Lager, nice job holding the blue line down low. Lager into the chest of Wastrel, and she covers. We'll have another face-off.
Yeah, again, just pressure again inside. And Wastrel had to make sure that she brought that puck in. That's shot on goal number 30 so far here for the Cougars through this first 2 periods.
Face-off won by the Bluebirds. Pass for Bowden didn't click. Goes all the way down. Will it have enough? Yes, it will. We will have another icing, another face-off. 16 seconds to go.
You know, they don't have anything to show for it, but the Bluebirds did get some good looks and some good pressure early in this, at times during the second period, but only 5 shots on goal.
Off the face-off, Chatleen back to O'Hara, tried to go high short side on the backhand, instead missed it high. Pass out for the point, held in by Bucciaconi. Cross ice pass deflected, batted down, and the buzzer sounds. And we will go to the locker room. A very strong period for the visiting squad. Centennial has a 5-1 lead after 2 periods. You're watching girls high school hockey on CTN Mobile. back at Coon Rapids Ice Center and dropping the puck on period number 3. Champlain Park, Coon Rapids in a big hole, down 5-1 after a 4-goal second period from Centennial Spring Lake Park. Pass just out of the reach of O'Hara. It'll go all the way down, but they will not get there before it is whistled for icing.
Well, I think both teams, more so the Bluebirds, obviously need to come out with a sense of urgency, but I think that the Cougars will want to continue to pressure on the Bluebird net and see if they can even increase this lead by even more. But the Bluebirds obviously need the next goal. They're in a 4-goal deficit hole.
Well,
here.
and they need it relatively early. Ooh, a little extra water out there that stopped that puck right up. Milton, the shot, blocker saved. Gross lost it. Milton centers out to the point. Scott walks in. Her shot blocked by O'Hara into the corner. She recovers, circles away from McKenzie, and now looks up ice. And there she finds Lager at the blue line. Tried to center for Chatleen, but the pass went awry. Chatleen recovers, tries to play it back in deep. McKenzie there to disrupt. Recover for the Bluebirds and get it to Scott. Scott, pass, hit the skates of Lily McKenzie. Singh trying to dig back for it, and it taken away by Lager. Now Chatleen has it in the slot. It was in her feet, got a shot away, and a blocker save by Wastrel. Backdoor look for Lager. She'll walk back up top and then fanned on the pass, knocked away by Milton. She pressures back to the Centennial blue line, fanned on the pass again. Coming back to recover is Tegan Kuhlenkamp. Backhand pass for Hemmer. Tipped off her stick as she enters the zone. Wolter couldn't control that one. Played to the line but not out. Dumped back in by Newpower. The shot from Larson. And the sliding save and cover for Wastrel.
Yeah, relatively easy shot for Wastrel on the Larson offering.
Hemmer tried to feed out front, and Wolter couldn't quite connect. CPCR got a stick on the pass. It didn't come through clean, or it would have been 6-1. Kuhlenkamp tied up in the corner. Hemmer waiting for it to come free. Hemmer's got 2 goals. The other 3 for Lauren O'Hara. Out to Larson. Batted out of the air by Hemmer, but ends up going wide. Would have been a high stick as our official in the neutral zone had his arm in the air. Deflected out front. Hemmer sweeps it, scores, and she's got a hat trick too.
And again, just able to make sure she controlled the puck. Went one way, Rostel went the other way, and an easy goal for Hemmer to poke home to give her squad that 5-goal cushion now.
Well, and she was buzzing on that shift. And then it just came free. Wastrel made the first save, but completely unmarked was Noelle Hemmer. And they collect the puck for a keepsake. Completely unmarked. She just reached out, grabbed it, pulled it to her backhand. No chance for Wastrel. And it is a 6-1 lead. Kuhlenkamp picks up the assist. 2:24 into the second period, so it didn't take him long. Kylie Scott digs it out of the corner. Trying to lead the rush. Her pass deflected by Oberg. So no icing. Stopped up by McKenzie. Comes right back to Oberg. Her pass was behind Ella O'Hearn. Scott at her own blue line. Backhands it up the boards. Oberg turns it around. Got it to Shimabukuro. Getting better. Give me another 4 games and I might get it. Stepping up is Bucciaconi. She'll get around Oswego into the corner. Stops up. Backhand attempt toward the slot, but that hit traffic. McKenzie asserting her will to get it out to center. And then sweeps it all the way down. That'll be icing. And a face-off coming back in the Chample Park Coon Rapids end. 13:29 to go.
Yeah,
Period number 3.
Bluebirds needed a change, and the icing brought about that. They were able to get some fresh skaters on the ice, but forces that face-off to Rostral's left.
Nola Milton into the corner, plays it up the boards for Bowden. Bowden turns and looks, has some time, skates to center. Now across, into the zone comes Ketting. Ketting gets a shot off, that misses just wide. Tied up along the boards, pokes free. Bowden spins away from the pressure from O'Hara, tried to center. Lager there to break it up. Del Castillo keeps it in. She pokes it back into the corner, recovers, centers, swept away by Ball. There's an opportunity momentarily there for Kyla Ketting. Free puck collected by O'Hara. One-touch pass from Lager to Chasteen. Chatlin's shot blockered away by Wastrel. Swept around behind by Bernovic. Ketting gets it back to her. Bernovic with some speed trying to get around Newpower. Newpower pushes her off the puck, and now we will see Centennial killing a penalty for the first time tonight.
Well, the Bluebirds need this kind of opportunity with 12:30 remaining, trailing by 5. They just need a little bit of a spark of some sort. This is a huge hole for them to dig out of. So far, just one shot on goal here in period number 3.
Singh will take the draw, able to win it to McKenzie on the boards, centered. That was disrupted, broken up. Bucciacone can't clear. Johnson back into the corner. Singh had it poked away by Larson. McKenzie pressuring, comes free to Kuhlenkamp. Kuhlenkamp lost it in her skates, kicks it back up to her stick. Knocked away by Milton. Stepping onto it is Scott. Scott with speed down the boards. Gets around Bucciacone and tried to go short side high. And it's blockered up over the glass and out of play.
Good opportunity for the Bluebirds there. Kylie Scott with a nice move to get an open look at the net. But
check in on the replay. Oh, never mind.
No, remember, we don't have replay. I'm not able to draw it. I can't draw it fast enough.
Another face-off to the left of Gross, won by Singh. One-timer by Johnson, fluttered into the traffic. Hemmer back the other way for Centennial Spring Lake Park. Dumped in, Wastrel trying to slow it down. Scott with speed from behind her own net. 3-2 at the blue line. Runs into a little extra traffic in stripes, able to reverse course, leads it off. Johnson right into the shin pad of Oswego. Swept back out to center by O'Hearn. Cross ice pass. O'Hearn got a piece of that too. McKenzie back for Scott. Back across off the boards. It's collected by Brooklyn Johnson. Into the zone, top of the slot. Didn't get anything on it. Not a lot on the shot by Oswego either. Jamming away. Oswego is sent to the ice. A groan from the home crowd, but I don't think you're going to get another 39 seconds remain.
Well, the Bluebirds managed to have a couple of opportunities here on this power play. Not able to capitalize, but nonetheless, a couple of opportunities.
Played to the line, but not out. Julian holds her pass across, tipped away by O'Hara. Tessa Bowden circles to the boards. Looks, slips it through O'Hara. Tips it around Larson, gives chase down into the corner. Bucciacone there to meet her. Those two tie up. Puck comes free. Played to the line. O'Hara got a piece of it. Julian back to the near side for Bernovic. Bernovic gets it out front. Ketting didn't get much on that shot, and an easy save for Gross.
Yeah, that puck sneaks through there, but Gross right there on the spot to bring it in.
5 shots on the power play, 4 seconds remaining. Tie up off the face-off. O'Hara plays it into the corner. Bowden recovers. Penalty is over. Comes free to O'Hara. Long pass trying to spring Lager fresh out of the box. Instead, it goes the length for an icing.
Yeah, I like the thought the pass was not there.
Lager just in 8th grade. Emerly, the pace of the game has been so good, we haven't had a chance really to talk much about the players involved. But, you know, some names we've heard a lot of. Lager, just an 8th grader. Chatleen, just an 8th grader.
Yep. I mean, that's great contribution from young players at this varsity level on a really good squad.
Hemmer, a junior with a hat trick. Lauren O'Hara we knew about. She is a senior, but impressive player. She has it at the top of the circle, pressured by Johnson. Able to hold the line, though. Got it to Chatleen. There is Lager in close. The save and cover by Wastrel. Fumbled the first attempt at the cover, but able to get on top of it.
Yeah, they do such a nice job in Centennial and Spring Lake Park, but just setting themselves up and giving
So think
giving
about that top
opportunities.
line. Lager, I don't know, she's got 2-3 assists.
Yep.
So does Chatleen.
Yep. And
top line is those two, both 8th
eighth
graders, and Lauren O'Hara.
It's senior, yep. It's impressive.
And it's looking like the Centennial Spring Lake Park squad on their way to their 4th straight win after dropping the opener to 5th-ranked Maple Grove. Japri sends it just wide. Hammer recovers behind the net. Poked away from her. She's able to recover. Tied up there by Del Castillo. She comes away with the puck off the back end boards out of the reach of Oswego. Bucciaconi pinches. Walter plays it down low out of the reach of her teammate Coolingham. Lily McKenzie trying to dangle out of the corner, had it tipped away, came right in on Maddie Wastrel, and she had seen enough.
Yeah, it turns that over right in front of Wastrel. And as you mentioned, Maddie had no other opportunity just to fall, just to fall on the puck and force that face-off.
Shimabukuro able to get a shot on a short angle. Turned away, clearing attempt, held at the line by Larson. Shot blocked by Oswego. Oswego able to get it out to center. Larson sweeps it across. New power ahead. This is Grace Schmidt having it knocked off her stick. Del Castillo hammers it off the boards and down. No icing as Larson gets to it. Tessa Bowden trying to pressure. Long pass to center ice for O'Hearn. Into the zone. O'Hearn a shot to save and hold for Wastrel.
Yeah, just a shot into Maddie's middle, and she's able just to make the save.
Well, she's doing a really nice job of attacking the puck, moving with it, getting her center body mass in front of the little biscuit, and not giving up a lot of rebounds. But this team has just kept coming. O'Hara backdoor, and Chatleen misfired just wide.
Yeah, Chatleen had a great opportunity for a goal there.
Chatleen to O'Hara. O'Hara walking in, a shot, rebound, save again. Chatleen in the corner, forced to the boards by Scott. Puck played behind. Shelby Julian circles away from O'Hara. Chatleen coming now. She'll sweep it back behind. Scott ahead for Johnson. Johnson's pass was broken up. Lager back the other way. Lager, quick snapper right in on goal. Swept to the corner by Wastrel. Lager had it poked away by Scott. McKenzie sends it far ice and all the way down, and most of a line change happening for CPCR, hemmed in their zone for quite a while. Kicks free to Johnson, tipped off her stick by Lager, in close, a backhand chance for Singh, and a relatively easy save for Caitlin Gross.
Yeah, that puck, there wasn't really much on it. Gross able just to make sure she grabbed it. Singh was there in front, but wasn't able to get her stick on it. The Cougars out shooting the Bluebirds 39-19 so far here with 7:05 remaining in this contest.
Tie up off the draw. Walter fires it the length of the ice. We'll try it again with 6:58 to go. Well, and if you're Coon Rapids, Champlain Park, you had to come into this third period thinking, let's win the period.
Right.
That's got to be mission number one. Let's get the first one, which they were unable to do. Should nothing else change or nothing else positive in the home team's favor anyway, you can at least look at it as that first period, you played a really good team, really, really tough, and got them scared for good periods of it, but you have to be able to maintain that type of pressure for 3 periods against top-level teams.
Well, those good teams capitalize in those situations, which Centennial Spring Lake Park did in that second period.
Well, Buccicconi with a shot from a ways out, relatively easy save for Wastrow, but that's shot number 40. And this team is just packed with speed and deep in Centennial Spring Lake Park. But, Champlain Park Coon Rapids set the pace for much of that first period and really did a nice job of getting them in deep and forcing the action, forechecking really well. And they just have not been able to do that at all since period number 1. New Power trying to fend off Bowden, sends it in. Oswego back across for Scott. Back to the near side boards, no one home. Hemmer circles with it. Her pass right back to Scott at her own blue line. Kylie Scott trying to dangle. It's bumped off her stick. Hemmer dropping it, looking for Kuhlenkamp. Lost by McKenzie right in the slot. Scott can't force it out. Brooklyn Johnson is there. McKenzie comes up with it, able to sweep it out to center. Johnson flips it backwards, and Shimabukuro. And the moment has passed. Hey, give me credit. I could have called her 39 all night.
I give you a lot of credit.
39 with it is a lot easier. Bodies sliding all over. It was hand pass back to Brooklyn Johnson. Tipped off her stick by Thompson. She overskates it. Onto it is Emma Olsen. She's knocked to the ice just inside the blue line. Puck played back out to center and would have been offside had Emma Olsen been able to get a stick on it. Into the zone with it is Semling. Pressuring behind the net is Zahalka. Emma Olsen in there dinging along with O'Hara. Kick free by Ball. Spits it right to Julian. She sends it right back in deep. Ball circling away from Zahalka. Cuts back against the grain. Gets it to Lauren O'Hara. She skates to center. Will get the red line and go cross ice on the dump. Julian back behind. Del Castillo gets it ahead for Olsen to the line, but not out. And it comes free again. Buccicconi bumped off of it. And that one's going to get a penalty. Right now with this game, Champlain Park Coon Rapids is going to get away with some little bumps.
Right, but not.
And Buccicconi, that was just frustration. She was knocked to the ice. She got up and gave a retaliatory hit, but she's going to get called A because it's retaliation, B because you're up 6-1, and C, there was a little more force involved.
Oh, yeah, she put her whole body into it.
But Champlain Park Coon Rapids is going to get a late power play down 6-1.
Yeah, but you're up 6-1. I don't think there's a lot of room for frustration if you're up by 5 goals.
You still never like to get hit.
I understand that. But
in a game where technically there is no checking.
Correct.
Scott down the left wing into the corner. Backhand feed. McKenzie was tied up. Lager able to chop it out to center. Brooklyn Johnson back into her own end. Stops up behind her own net. Fanned on the pass. Recovered by Scott. Pressured by Chatleen behind. And will skate ahead. Kylie Scott into the zone. Stops up. She's bumped but sends it in deep. Milton trying to center. Broken up by Lager. McKenzie recovers. Trying to walk out front. Poked away by Newpower. Centering pass. Bounced away for McKenzie. Chatleen waits for a lane to open, then sends it right in on Wastrel. Lily McKenzie through center, sidesteps the stick check. Walks to the middle on her backhand, blocked by Newpower. Clear attempt. Del Castillo sends it just high. And the ref had turned around, and that should have been a penalty.
Yeah, he didn't see
Cam
it.
Singh took the Centennial player into the boards pretty hard. It was right behind him as he had turned his head, and she is slow to get up. And that definitely has sparked the ire of the visiting crowd.
Well, the official had his back turned to the play, so he could not have possibly seen it.
Well, and really, you would expect that the center ice official would have seen the hit.
Would have thought so.
But no call being made, and it's unfortunate with a player on the ice. And not able to see who it is, but certainly don't like to see anyone injured. And I don't think there was any intent on the part
I
of
don't think
Cam
so either.
Singh, even to really deliver a check as hard as she did, but certainly not to cause an injury.
We certainly hope she's okay. It was down on the ice and they're looking at her. And
the officials are talking near the penalty box and asking for a little explanation from the Centennial Spring Lake Park bench.
Is that Alexis Larson? Yeah, good.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah.
Alexis Larson.
Yep.
2:25 to go. Still 34 seconds remain on the Champlain Park Coon Rapids power play. Jeremy Shepard will attend to Larson, but she's able to skate off under her own power, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign. Hopefully she's going to be okay.
A little extra time out for both squads. CPCR, an opportunity to rest their top unit of power play. Coach Gutterman talking with the officials as well. I haven't seen the penalty box open.
No.
And now it is.
No.
And they're sending Cam Singh to the locker room. So not only is she being penalized, but someone else has to serve her time as she is told to exit the arena. And so we'll have some 4-on-4. I'm not sure how if that's the call, how the face-off is in the Centennial end. That's the most confusing. And, they're putting a major up on the board. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 34 seconds, and then it'll be a Centennial power play the rest of the way.
Yeah, that puts the Bluebirds in a more precarious situation to try and actually get back on the board here. We're ready to get back to action.
Well, the Centennial fans have been appeased. They were certainly unhappy with the non-call. But now Coach Gutterman looks a little frustrated by whatever the decision was in the injury timeout. The shot hit traffic. Hemmer back the other way. First shot blocked into the corner. Scott lost the handle a bit, recollects through center. Wines, fires, knocked down by Gross. Ball hard off the boards all the way down. That'll be icing. She was thinking, well, there's only 4 of us.
Right.
There's only 4 of them. 4 on 4.
Yeah, it's even. That's even.
Face-off win for Centennial Spring Lake Park. 3-2-1, and Buccicone's penalty is over, and a power play for the visiting Cougars. O'Hara starts out of her own corner. Ahead for Camp. Just out of the reach of Chatleen. Fired up the boards and out by Briley Del Castillo. O'Hara to Lager on the far side, enters. Pass back for O'Hara, a shot, a glove save by Wastrel.
Wastrel just stayed with it. You know, you've got to be so concerned when Lauren O'Hara is bearing down on you. But she did a good job of just staying with it and gloving it and forcing the face-off to her right.
Played toward the net, sticked away by Wastrel. Milton backhands it up the boards. McKenzie can't get it past Thompson.
1 minute remaining in the 3rd period.
Final minute of this one, as it's sent to length by McKenzie. Brooklyn Johnson speeds down and will get there first. Johnson knocked the stick out of Camp's hands. Tried to slide it over for McKenzie. McKenzie bumped. Puck comes free to O'Hara. To Chatelaine, back door and a goal for Lager.
Again, just a good setup there, and that's going to make it 7-1. 42-20 out shooting the Bluebirds.
And that was just a pretty setup, no chance for Wastrel.
None.
Easy tap into a wide open cage for Lager to connect on a power play goal. Second power play goal of the game for Centennial Spring Lake Park.
Scoring for Centennial Spring Lake Park, number 15, Grace Lager. First assist, number 8, J.C. Chatelaine. Second assist, number 23, senior captain Lauren O'Hara.
10 seconds.
Goal is 16-33.
Shot fired wide. And the final seconds will tick off as that centering pass didn't click. Johnson able to clear. The buzzer will sound. The Cougars will improve to 4-1, 4 straight wins, and putting up big numbers. 21 goals in those 4 games.
Yeah, they've been a force so far this year after that dropping that 2-0 loss to Maple Grove, and Bluebirds will just have to regroup. They'll move to 2-3 on the season,
and they have a little bit of a break.
They do
until after the holiday weekend.
Yep.
But they've had a very fast start, and this one a little bit disappointing. But at 2-3 with two losses in overtime, that's not too shabby.
Yeah, they don't play till the 2nd, where they face Proctor Hermantown over at the Ice Forum. That will be their next contest.
So after a 1-1 first, it was a 4-goal boost in the second period for Centennial Spring Lake Park. They had 2 more, including a power play goal at the end. 2 players with hat tricks for the visitors, and they skate away with the 7-1 win. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Mobile. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us to continue to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Abby Shapiro, I'm Joey Young saying good night.